Alright, just like most of you, I'm still buzzing from UFC 287. What an insane knockout from Israel Adesanya. You know, most of the time this guy wins decision. We've seen the last time he knocked someone out was Paulo Costa, and it wasn't quite like this. Which begs the question, how will this performance affect how Israel Adesanya does in the future? And what could this tell us about Israel Adesanya? I think this performance confirms what I've been saying about Adesanya for the longest time, and I'm going to be breaking that down now in this video. But before we start the video, I want to ask you guys a question. Comment in the comment section below so I know you guys are watching the video. And the question of the day is, how much money would it take for you to take the left hook of Alex Pereira? Like, if I met you and I was like, hey, I'm offering you X amount of money to take this left hook, how much is that? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. Before we start the video, as always, I want to thank our sponsor. Alright, you know it's a good day when we have a sponsor. The sponsor of today's video is actually a sponsor I'm super excited to work with, is erupted. Erupted is a streetwear brand from the UK that has designs inspired by mixed martial arts. They have designs inspired by fighters like Darren Till, Paddy Pimblett, and so much more. The people over there were nice enough to send me a hoodie of my own. As you guys could see, you know, it says kill everybody. Like, seriously, I had no idea what these hoodies were gonna look like, but I was insanely surprised. These hoodies look dope as hell. Look, if you guys want to go check out their designs, which I really suggest you guys do, go hit the link in the description and use code JACK10 to get 10% off of your order. That means you're gonna help me as well as help yourself, because you're gonna get some dope ass merch while also getting a massive discount. But let's just get back into the video. Alright, what happened? If you guys were living under a rock, here's the quick recap. Israel Adesanya last Saturday night faced off against Alex Pereira, a guy who's beaten him 3 times across 2 combat sports, kickboxing and MMA. Now, a lot of people, including myself, thought Adesanya was going to lose based on what happened all the way back in November, with Adesanya getting knocked out in the 5th round. However, I think most of us know that this was not the case, and Israel Adesanya got sweet revenge. Now, what are some takeaways from this performance? First, on the negative side for Adesanya, I mean, we saw him in some bad positions in that 2nd round. We saw him backed up against the fence, hit with the big jabs, and it looked like that Alex Pereira was on his way to finish the fight. But Israel Adesanya baited him and was patient and hit him with a massive right hand, the same exact right hand that landed in the first fight at the end of the 1st round. Now, as I said in my recap video, which you guys should go check out if you haven't already, we've never seen Adesanya knock anybody out like that. Like I said before, yes, we've seen him knock out Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker, but both those guys got up relatively quick. And this performance has confirmed something I've always said about Adesanya. Adesanya could be, let's face it, a very boring fighter. However, for such a long, rangy fighter, Israel Adesanya has a really good inside game. And as I said, leading up to this fight, he has very good anticipation. I said that he should try to box with him a little bit more in order to win the fight. I think he had a speed advantage, and we saw that there, that he was able to capitalize when Alex Pereira had him backed up against the fence and landed a huge shot and put him out cold. But that's not the only thing it's confirmed. There's something that people overlook when talking about Adesanya is his wild knockout power. Now, I bet you guys are saying, Jack, what are you talking about? Knockout power? Who has he knocked out? Guys, take a look at Adesanya's fight. Every time it goes to a decision, like you look at the Marvin Vettori fight, the Jared Cannonier fight, the main similarity in those fights were the guys weren't coming forward. Those guys weren't trying to knock out Adesanya. With all due respect, they were totally comfortable staying at the range of Adesanya, where Adesanya was just most comfortable jabbing, kicking at the legs. Didn't want to take chances. He didn't want to take chances like Alex Pereira did, because we all know what happened to Alex. He got knocked out. The same thing could happen to Adesanya if he even rushes those moments. That's why he's extremely patient. However, you get the best results from Adesanya when the fighter is pushing forward, because his inside game is severely underrated, but as well as his power. Let me put it into perspective. Yoel Romero went 10 rounds with Robert Whittaker without knocking him out. Adesanya almost knocked him out in the 1st round. Paulo Costa went 3 rounds in a war with Yoel Romero and didn't manage to get knocked out. Yet Adesanya knocked him out in the 2nd round and dominated him. Adesanya is a technician, yes, but if it's an inside game, Adesanya can do that as well, which is what makes him so dangerous. He is definitely one of the most dangerous strikers out right now. And while yes, is it frustrating that most of the time he does jab and leg kick and the fight kind of is boring when he has an opponent that's complacent? Yes, it does, because Adesanya is totally okay with making fights go to a decision. He doesn't always chase the knockout, which is good, which is why he's such a good champion. However, it doesn't make him exciting. But the main reason I'm making this video is because I am worried what this performance will do to Israel Adesanya. Yes, Israel Adesanya. Yes, you could talk about the ramifications to Alex Pereira. How will his chin hold up? How can he recover mentally from that knockout? There's a lot of questions questions from him as well. But Adesanya just got the knockout of his career. Everybody talking about him with tons of hype. That feeling is something that could be very addicting. And I'm curious in the next fight if we're going to see a less patient Adesanya now that he knows, hey, he can knock out guys that are even bigger than him, because let's face it, Alex Pereira definitely outweighed Israel Adesanya. And will this make Adesanya go for more risk? For example, in a fight like Cannonier is just kind of staying at distance. Will Adesanya be able to push the pace? Because this fight was the most aggressive we ever saw Israel Adesanya. He ramped up the volume significantly, which was good because Alex Pereira was the taller guy. He needed to do that. He needed to get on the inside. However, he doesn't need to do that against a guy like a Cannonier, Paulo Costa. So my question is, how will this affect him? My main concern is that we might see an Israel Adesanya might get addicted to this rush and people talking about him and all the hype. He might start chasing the knockout. He might be looking for that next moment. And let's just say in the Cannonier fight, Cannonier hits hard. Let's say he's trying to get the finish against Cannonier and Cannonier looks gone. The same thing that happened to Pereira could happen to Adesanya. And yes, while Adesanya has gotten KOs definitely in his kickboxing career and MMA career, it wasn't as big as this one. And that's the point. He might get addicted to the hype and might put himself into situations that might not be the best for him. So I could definitely see this moment leading to maybe the downfall of Adesanya. But we're gonna have to see in his next fight. It also depends who he's fighting, because, you know, if you fight someone like Sean Strickland, he doesn't have knockout power to put out Adesanya. But if he's fighting a guy like Paulo Costa, a guy that he has emotion with, a guy that he's had beef with for the past 5 years, or even a Cannonier that, yes, while they don't have beef, hits insanely hard. If either of those rematch come into fruition and Adesanya is this new, over-aggressive fighter trying to chase the knockout, we might see him suffer the same fate as Alex Pereira. But look, those are my thoughts post UFC 287. There isn't so much news to talk about. Just wanted to give my thoughts on the subject because it is something that I thought about. As always, thank you guys at Ref for sponsoring the video. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of the video, what's next for Adesanya. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.